Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Rabbi srahli sadri wa yassirli amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Respected elders and beloved brothers and sisters in Indonesian Muslim community in Calgary, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In one of the prophetic traditions or hadith, Rasulullah SAW is reported that he was walking with his companion, and they passed by someone who was making a dua. So this someone was asking this and that. He was making supplication, asking for this and that, right? And Prophet Muhammad SAW commented that his dua was hasty, or he was hasty, the person who was making the dua, right? The supplication. So here we can learn that there is a way to make dua, right? It's not wrong, the dua that this person was making, but it was hasty. Yeah. So there is a way, there is an adab, there is an etiquette to make a dua, and most importantly, what to ask, right? And here, inshallah, in the verses that we are going to go through today, inshallah, we will learn from Prophet Yusuf alaihissalam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't tell us in the Quran that to make a good dua, you need to do this, 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 and the other, right? No, he didn't do that. He used a parable. He teaches us through Prophet Yusuf alaihissalam in this case, right? How he alaihissalam makes the dua. So in these verses, in the last verse, inshallah, we will cover verses 99 until 101. In verses 101, you can see the dua of Prophet Yusuf alaihissalam. Yeah, he used the beautiful names of Allah. He praised Allah. So that's the adab, the etiquette of making a dua. Start with praise upon Allah. Use his beautiful names. And then, as I said, the most important what he asked. He asked, make me die as someone who is in the state of submission. As a Muslim, someone who is in submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muslim is someone who is in the state of submission, right? So he's a prophet. He's guaranteed to be in a state of submission until the end of his life. Why did he ask that? It's also a story of other prophets in the Quran. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he finished building Kaabah with Prophet Ismail alayhi salam, he asked Allah that he would never be a mushrik. Wa ma kana mina musyrikin, right? He's protected. He's a prophet. Throughout his life, he's been trying to establish Tawhid, right? Why? He asked for that, to be protected from becoming mushrik or someone who associates others with Allah. Prophet Muhammad asked for Allah's forgiveness more than 70 times a day. He's protected. He's a prophet, alayhi salam. Then also the companions of the Prophet Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he's among 10 that was promised Jannah during his lifetime. Yet he said, if he has one foot in Jannah, he wouldn't feel safe. Not until both of his feet are in Jannah that he would feel safe. Umar radiallahu anhu, the second caliph, right? On his deathbed, he asked Hudayfa. Hi, Hudayfa. Hudayfa is someone who kept the secret of Prophet Muhammad SAW. He know Prophet Muhammad SAW told him who the munafiqs are, right? The hypocrites are. So on his deathbed, Umar radiallahu anhu asked, am I among the munafiq? Am I among the hypocrites? He's promised Jannah. So all of this so overzealousness on their part. They're intense in their ubudiyah, in their ibadah to Allah. Yeah. Maybe loosely translated as not taking for granted, but it's intense ibadah, intense connection with Allah. That's what it is, right? And what about us? Nobody guaranteed us Jannah. When was the last time? we ask Allah to die as a Muslim. We always ask Husnul Khotimah for someone who passed away. When was the last time we asked for Husnul Khotimah, the good ending? Now, inshallah, we will learn from Prophet Yusuf alaihi salam, from the dua of Prophet Yusuf alaihi salam. We will read these verses together, inshallah. Today, as we said, we will cover verse number 99 until verse number 101, inshallah. Yeah? Okay, let's start. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. فَلَمَّا دَخَلُوا عَلَى يُوسُفَ آوَى إِلَيْهِ أَبَوَيْهِ وَقَالَ ادْخُلُوا مِصْرَ إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ آمِنِينَ وَرَفَعَ أَبَوَيْهِ عَلَى الْعَرْشِ وَخَرُّوا لَهُ سُجَّدًا وقال يا أبت هذا تأويل رؤياي من قبل قد جعلها ربي حقا وقد أحسن بي إذ أخرجني من السجن وجاء بكم من البدو من بعد أن نزغ الشيطان بيني وبين إخوتي إن ربي لطيف لمن يشاء إنه هو العليم الحكيم رب قد آتيتني من الملك وعلمتني من تأويل الأحاديث فاطر السماوات والأرض أنت ولي في الدنيا والآخرة توفني مسلما وألحقني بالصالحين Sadaqallahul Azim. Okay, so for the purpose of our review today, our lesson today, inshallah, we will use this translation. So first number 99. When they entered Joseph's presence. So now the story is that they all, Joseph families, yeah, Yaqub, Joseph brothers, and their big families, they are in Egypt already. And they entered to the presence of Joseph, right, in the palace, I suppose, yeah. So Joseph, he received his parents graciously and said, enter Egypt, Allah willing, inshallah, in security, right? So you can see that he has an adab toward his family. He respected his family, right? He's humble in front of his family, right? Enter Egypt, inshallah, yeah. He never forget Allah. By the will of Allah, hopefully they will enter in peace in Egypt. Now, they are Bani Israel, right? Yaqub, the other name of Yaqub is Israel. So they are Bani Israel. So they have a promised land in Palestine. But at the time, Palestine was not cultivated. So they went to Egypt, right? They went to Egypt. But they would go back. And Prophet Yaqub live a long life, right? And before he died, he asked that bury me as closest as possible to the promised land. Yeah. And Prophet Yusuf, in fact, it was narrated that he asked that he would be buried in the promised land. So when Musa alayhi salam in the Exodus moved back to Palestine, yeah, to the Canaan, right? The body of the Prophet Yusuf was carried, yeah, in the expedition. And even Musa alayhi salam, because he couldn't enter the promised land yet for 40 years, right? So Musa alayhi salam was asked Prophet Jibril, Angel Gabriel, to be buried in the place where he can see the promised land. Okay, So this just kind of like historic a little bit. Yeah. Now moving on to verse number 100. So then he raised his parent to the throne, yeah, to the platform where the throne is, right? And they all fell down in prostration to Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. So here, Joseph's parents and his 11 brothers prostrated before him out of respect. Yeah, so when they prostrate, it's not as an ibadah, it's not as a worship, but it's just as a respect to the Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, right? Because Muslim only prostrate to Allah here. Now, this is exactly the dream of Prophet Yusuf. That's why he said, "Oh, my dear father, ya abati," right? This is the interpretation of my old dream. Yeah, because that's how Yaqub interpreted the dream, right? That Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was there was sun and the moon, right? And all the stars in prostration to Prophet Yusuf, right? So exactly the dream come true. But then he attributed this dream, this high station of his in Egypt to Allah. My Lord has made it come true. Yeah. He was truly kind to me when he freed me from prison. Right? Remember when we talk about this verse in particular, from prisoner to minister in a day. Yeah, he was so Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. So Prophet Yusuf attributed this to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Right? Why didn't he mention about when Allah Subhanahu wa Taala saved him from the bottom of the well? Right? Because as you see, he didn't want to ignite rivalry between. He didn't want to invoke the guilty feeling from his brother. So he is very kind to his brothers, Prophet Joseph. He doesn't want to his brother to feel guilty on that occasion of happiness, right? So he said that, and then he thanked Allah in the beautiful name of Allah. Indeed, Allah is Latif, is subtle, right? Inna Rabbi, yeah, Latif, one of the name of Allah, Al-Latif, right? Lima yasha, to whoever he wills, innahu, truly he huwal alimul hakim. He knows everything, and he's the wise, right? And then this is the dua, right? The last verse, inshallah, today. Rabbi qad ataitani, yeah, my Lord, right? You have surely granted me authority and taught me the interpretation of dream. So one is power, authority, the other is knowledge, interpretation of dream. So you know, it's very rare that these two combine in one person, right? So it's really, really a good trait if this is combined in one person. And Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam thank Allah for that, right? So you see the adab, my Lord, oh my sustainer, right? Ya Rob. Yeah. You know, Rob, as we discussed before, right? Rob has three meanings, right? In Arabic at least, right? Rob is an owner, a sustainer, right? And then a sustainer, an owner, and a king, right? That's the meaning of Rob, right? And then he said, "Oh, originator fatiri samawati wal ard." So he who create the heaven and earth, right? So that's Allah, right? You are my guardian. Again, name of Allah, Al-Wali, right? In this world and the hereafter. Allow me to die as one who submits. That's what we discussed before, yeah? And join me with the righteous. Yeah, so he knows that his father is also a prophet, right? So implicitly he wants to be with his father as well. So this is how Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam make his dua. So inshallah we will learn from this doa Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. Aku liqouli hadza wastaghfiruh innahu huwa ghafurur rahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.